Google is telling us to go on a dirt road.
So in our hurry to get to our campsite, I put the address in on Google and I just ran with it. And Google eventually took us to a point where the road just ended and it was just dirt. And we saw Subaru Forester actually driving out at the time we pulled in, and we asked him, how far does the dirt go? Because if it's a mile or so, I think I could do it. And they looked at me with these bug eyes, and they're like, yeah, you should take that bike down there. Turns out it was about 12 miles of straight dirt that goes around the Smithsonian Butte. When we actually put the directions in on Google to not go through dirt roads, we actually have to drive all the way back to Hurricane and then almost make a gigantic U. So when we got to our campsite, lo and behold, there was a couple already camping there. They were actually camping there for a couple days before we even got there. But we called the owner of the campground, and we, perhaps that maybe they just double booked the place. But we found out that this couple was supposed to be at a campground even further down the road, but it was late. They already had their tent set up, and they had a lot of extra water, which they offered us, which was something that we forgot on the way there. So we said, hey, you know what? Why not you just stay, camp on our campsite? By all means. Now, unfortunately, Sanjit had to go back to Berkeley as soon as possible. He was dealing with a sort of emergency. I still had the campsite for another day, so I decided I would just go back to Zion. Still had a small dirt road to drive on once we got to Hilldale, and our bikes are more meant for things that aren't dirt roads, but it wasn't too bad. Doing 12 miles of this would be out of the question though. So as we were getting settled in the night before, the guy that we were camping with asked me, hey man, did you Google this town? And I smirked because I did Google the town. In fact, I spent half the day doing a deep dive on the Wikipedia page for this town. This town is infamous because it's the headquarters of the FLDS. It's a fundamentalist sect that broke off of the Mormon Church. I really can't go into too much detail about the guys with 70 wives and stuff like that. The music I picked for this is just way too weird. So if you're really interested, just go do a deep dive on Hilldale, Utah. And just read up on all the news articles. It's crazy. But yeah, we were getting some weird looks driving through that town.
Sanjit went home, but I'm back at Zion for another day. So, let's see where we can hike.
There were these two guys that I met, brothers from Vegas, Zach and Travis, and struck up a conversation with them in line, and I asked them where they were headed. They're going to Angel's Landing too, so I asked them if I could just tag along.
Yeah, that Gatorade that I chugged, I was like, oh my God, that might come up. I was like, wow.
Right?
That is we're like halfway.
Not even halfway.
There was almost no change.
Well, yeah, this is going to be all I'm doing today. It's a decent hike. Switchbacks going up 500 or 600 feet. Right now it's 95 degrees, but in the middle of a canyon in the shade it's 60. So this is fine. Earlier I was in the sun just trucking it. It was like doing a Stairmaster for 100 floors. So
So yeah, I'm also an idiot because I didn't look to see if they had any locker space at the visitor center. So I ended up having to take my motorcycle boots in my backpack with me with all the jugs of water that I had plus the camera gear and stuff like that. That bag was not light.
That breeze though is really good.
What I am gonna do?
Whoa.
You know what I want to do?
Oh my god. Came like this? Yeah. Yeah, when is
So where did you
What?
Quick.
Yeah, just wait down there. Thank you.
Yo, these guys were wild, man. As soon as we got up here, he asked me if I wanted to sit down and dangle my feet off. I was like, nah, man. Nah, I'm not even gonna come close to the edge, dude. Get out of here. Now, for some goofy reason, I thought that was the end of the hike. But no, the end of the hike is here. I'm normally not a person that has a problem with heights, but there were definitely some moments that were... Ooh. I drove so long, hiked so far to finally get to that place. Man, I was up there for like an hour and a half.
This guy has the best real estate probably in the state. Now I gotta make the whole way back down.